Is the new wave of DeFi talking about perpetual DEXes? I believe a lot of hype and a lot of people are looking at perpetual DEXes with the recent launch of the Vila exchange. Now, if we take a look at the popular one, the one that everyone knows or that everybody should know, we're talking about GMX. And this one here is on AVAX. It's also on Arbitrum, and they literally just crossed $100 billion of trading volume, which is absolutely absurd. And this is basically the biggest perpetual DEX out there so far. And now a whole lot of new perpetual DEXes are coming out. Some are simply just forks of GMX on different networks. They're trying to build out a community on different networks, and others like the Vila exchange is actually trying to do things a bit different. So what I want to do today is I want to show you guys what essentially happened to all of these perpetual DEXs and show you some resources that I am using to kind of understand what all these perpetual DEXs are offering, which ones are actual forks, and which ones are actually trying to build something else. But before we do that, if we just take a look at the price of GMX, it's sitting at $72. And if we just go to a year chart, I mean, we are in a bear market. Don't forget that. This thing hit a bottom of about 13 cents back in June. Now it's sitting around $72. If we take a look at the market cap, we saw the dip right over here around 200 million. Now it's around 600 million. And I think people are actually understanding why perpetual DEXs are so important now, especially with all of the centralized exchanges, all of the fiascos we've seen with so many different centralized exchanges. People are wanting to go onto decentralized exchange, not have money on their centralized account, and essentially trade just like you would on a centralized exchange. And there aren't really any risks of them using the money to then go invest elsewhere and essentially blow up everything and you lose your money. So that's the reality of what we're seeing right now. We're seeing the shift over to perpetual DEXs as opposed to centralized exchanges. And one of the resources I am using to do some research on this is, of course, DeFi Llama. And we also have a Discord where we talk about a bunch of different things. So if you're not in there, you're definitely missing out. Polar the Degen today actually saw a new perpetual DEX, or new enough, that started this year, and he was asking questions about this one, and we're all looking at it in terms of a community. We have different perspectives and we just share information in there. So if you are looking to find a place to talk about different plays, then definitely consider joining that Discord. But DeFi Llama is probably one of the first stepping stones when it comes to doing research, and it's very simple to use. I went ahead and I looked for GMX forks. As we know, GMX has been killing it. It's the #1 perpetual DEX right now. And here you have all of the forks from GMX. So the one in question today that was raised by Polar the Degen was actually Baymax. I was looking at this. If we just take a look at their chart from February 1st, this thing is literally up about 500%. It's absolutely crazy. Now, I'm not saying this is what you have to invest in. Of course, it's your money, your choice. And I personally wouldn't necessarily invest in something that's up 500% over the last 4 days. But again, it's your money, your decision. But this is just the way that I understand where and what is going on in the world of perpetual DEXs. And one of the ones here, Metavol Trade, I was in it. I loved this one. This was one of the first ones on Polygon. There's also Mad Max, which is also on Polygon. But again, Mad Max, I do believe, because it's the Mad Meerkat ecosystem, they now started their Polygon business. So they were originally on Chronos. They're still on Chronos, but now they're on Polygon as well with Mad Max. I do believe that Metavol Trade may have less of a negative sentiment on the perpetual dexes, which is maybe why it's doing a bit better than MadMex. But nonetheless, all of these are perpetual dexes. You can see the chains that they're running on. I dabbled my toes into OPX when it launched. I'm down some money. I'm down about 50% on this. So again, it just goes to show that a bunch of different protocols are coming out. DeFi Llama, you can kind of see what's going on. You can see the TVL as well. And then you have to do more research on it. So again, these are all forks. They're not actually adding anything new to GMX as we know it right now. But if we take a look at Vila Exchange, this one here I'm super excited about, and I actually have access to their beta. And if you were in the Discord, I had actually sent out a link for anyone who was interested in joining the beta. They were able to do so, and I believe we're a handful of people that actually made the play to get into the beta. And if you aren't familiar with Vila, well, this one here is trying to compete with GMX. Again, it's a perpetual DEX, but it is adding a few new features. You can trade Forex on here, which is awesome. I mean, you have a list of different assets here. Of course, the Forex market right now is closed, so you can't actually trade them right now, but you can see that it is an option to trade. That's awesome. Then obviously, if you had access to the Hyper VLP event, we were able to get some more Vila tokens as an incentive to provide liquidity onto this platform. As you may or may not know, I'm already providing liquidity. I have about $740 of USDC staked, or in other words, VLP. And that basically got me about 277 Vila tokens, which are going to be vested over 1 year. So this is just another one of these perpetual dexes that again is adding more to GMX. In my opinion, it's adding some trade features as well. You have stop losses, you have market orders, you also have leverage all the way up to 100x for these Forex pairs. And then you have the leaderboard here. You can see how people are trading. And this is only in the beta version of it right now. It's not accessible to the public. So this is just some great stuff in my opinion. Now, you can also stake your VLP, you can stake your Vila or your escrowed Vila and earn even more. So I am doing that as well. I do have some Vila staked into the platform. I'm earning some escrowed Vila with that, as you can see here. And then you can either vest your escrowed Vila or even stake your escrowed Vila, and you get even more rewards. So this is kind of what I'm looking at on a daily basis. I know this video is a bit all over the place, but all that to say is if you're looking for the next play or you're trying to understand what I am looking at on a daily basis, then definitely join the Discord. I am always active on there, and that's basically what I wanted to share with you. I'm probably going to be doing a full video on Vila and the entire beta and exactly what is what's Vila, what's escrowed Vila, what's VLP, so that everybody can understand how this works. If you want to see that video, then definitely smash the like button. Let me know down in the comment section below. But this looks very promising in my opinion, and you can see the amount of people that are participating in the Hyper VLP rewards. There's already about $4 million locked up for liquidity on there. The VLP Hyper Reward event isn't even over yet. There's a few more days left before this wraps up. So of course, I do believe there's going to be a whole lot more volume coming in as future rounds do open. But with all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out DeFi Llama, check out other protocols that are trying to do the same thing and trying to add even more elements to GMX, because if they're just simply forking GMX, then it's not necessarily adding any value. It may have a crazy run up right now, but if there's no extra incentives or if there isn't anything new on the platform and it's simply a different chain, it may not be all that successful in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.